In this video, I will give you a brief introduction into the user interface of Blender. Now, the first thing you see in front of you when you open up Blender is the 3D viewport. Now, in it, if you want to select objects, you can just left-click on them. And if you want to select multiple objects at the same time, you can left-click and drag to get a box selection. And if you want to deselect, you can left-click anywhere else. If you want to move objects, then on the left-hand side, you have this tab that has multiple options, one of them being Move. And if you click on the Move options and the object later on, then you can move the object. If you want to move it on a specific axis, then you can click and drag the arrow keys that are on the object itself. Now, Blender is very hotkey based, so the movement hotkey is G. So pressing this anywhere, even if it is not on the model itself, but the model is selected, you can move the model by just pressing G. If you want to limit the movement to a specific axis, then you can press G and the name of the axis, so G and X or G and Y, or just add Z to the end. And if you want to move on two axes at the same time, then you press G and then Shift and then the axis that you want to exclude. Next, we have the rotation option. This again, if you click on your model, then you can rotate it as if it was a trackball. Or if you want to rotate on specific axis, then you can click and drag the rotational lines there. Alternatively, the hotkey for this is R, and the axis limitations work the same way. So R and X, or R and Y, or R and Z. The next option is scaling. The scaling, if you press and click on an object, it scales it entirely, or you can scale it in specific axis. The hotkey for this is S, and again, this works the same way as does the movement options. So S and X, S and Y, S and Z, or if you want to scale in two axes at the same time, then S and Shift the axis that you want to exclude.